America is a country built on change. Cities rise, shine, and sometimes collapse under their own weight. In 2025, many U.S. cities are facing a painful truth. They are losing people, losing jobs, and losing hope. But here's the key question. Where are these people going instead? Because when one city declines, another one grows. Stay with me until the end because you might be shocked to see which famous cities are shrinking and which surprising places are becoming America's new boomtowns. Number 10. Buffalo, New York. Buffalo was once a proud industrial giant, standing tall on the shores of Lake Erie. At its peak in the 1950s, the city had more than 580,000 residents, thriving on steel production, shipping, and manufacturing. It was a city of opportunity where families settled, built homes, and dreamed of stability. Fast forward to today. Buffalo's population is barely 270,000, less than half of what it used to be. Entire neighborhoods that once buzzed with life now have empty homes, boarded-up shops, and a lingering feeling of decline. Why are people still leaving Buffalo in 2025? 1. Weather. Brutal winters with heavy snow make it one of the harshest climates in America. Retirees in particular are fleeing to warmer states. 2. Jobs. The economy has shifted away from manufacturing, and while there are healthcare and education jobs, they don't match the scale of losses from the old industries. 3. Taxes and cost of living. New York State is infamous for its high taxes. Even though Buffalo has relatively cheap housing, the property taxes and state income tax weigh heavily on middle-class families. Imagine this. A retired couple living on a fixed income in Buffalo. Their home may be paid off, but property taxes keep climbing. Utilities are expensive during harsh winters, and healthcare access is strained. Many decide it's simply not worth it. So, where are they going? Florida. Cities like Tampa, Orlando, and Jacksonville are top destinations for Buffalo residents. Florida offers warmer weather, no state income tax, and more affordable living costs. Buffalo is freezing its future away, while Florida cities are heating up with new arrivals every single day. Before I move on, think about this. What happens to a city when young people leave but older generations stay behind? The workforce shrinks, schools close, and the city struggles to keep up. Buffalo is a warning sign for many northern cities. Number 9. Cleveland, Ohio. Cleveland tells a story that's almost a mirror image of Buffalo, but on an even bigger scale. Once known as the Sixth City, Cleveland was home to nearly 1 million people in 1950. Today it struggles to hold on to just 360,000 residents. That's more than 500,000 people gone in just a few decades. The reason is simple. Jobs disappeared and with them, families. Cleveland was a powerhouse of steel, cars, and shipping. But as industries shut down or moved overseas, unemployment rose and crime followed. The city became part of what many call the Rust Belt, a painful reminder of America's industrial decline. In 2025, Cleveland is still losing people. Many of its neighborhoods suffer from blight, abandoned houses, shuttered factories, and poverty rates well above the national average. But where are Clevelanders going? Columbus, Ohio is a top choice. Columbus has grown into one of the Midwest's most promising cities, driven by tech jobs, Ohio State University, and a booming housing market. Some are moving further to states like North Carolina and Texas, where job opportunities are stronger. Let's look at the cost of living difference. In Cleveland, the median home price is around $150,000. That sounds affordable, but add in Ohio's taxes and lack of economic growth, and it's not as attractive as it looks. In Columbus, while home prices are higher, approximately $300,000, the job market is thriving, attracting younger families and businesses. Cleveland is bleeding out, while Columbus is soaking up its future. Here's something to think about. Cities don't die overnight. They die slowly, year by year, family by family, until the population charts look like a downward slide. Cleveland is already halfway down that slope. Number 8. Detroit, Michigan. No city in America symbolizes rise and fall more than Detroit. Once the proud Motor City, Detroit had nearly 2 million people at its peak. Today it's down to 631,000, a loss of more than 1 million residents. Imagine half the city simply vanishing. That's Detroit's story. The decline began with the collapse of the auto industry, but it was fueled by crime, poverty, and one of the largest municipal bankruptcies in U.S. history. Even today, Detroit battles high crime rates, struggling schools, and decaying infrastructure. Now here's where facts matter. In 2023, Detroit saw a small population gain of about 1,800 residents, the first in decades. But experts say it's more of a statistical bump than a true recovery. Wayne County, where Detroit sits, is still among the top 10 counties in America for population loss. Where are Detroiters moving? Many head to suburban Oakland County for better schools and safety. Others leave Michigan altogether, choosing Texas and Florida, where the housing market is booming and taxes are lower. Let's talk about retirees. If you're living in Detroit on a pension or Social Security, rising property taxes and unsafe neighborhoods make retirement extremely stressful. Compare that to states like Florida, where there's no state income tax, and the choice becomes obvious. Detroit may not be a ghost town, but it's running on fumes. We've covered Buffalo, Cleveland, and Detroit, 3 cities that show how quickly an American powerhouse can crumble. But here's the real shocker. The cities in the top 5 aren't old industrial towns. They're modern, famous, even glamorous places that you'd never expect to see dying. So the question is your city safe, or is it next? Number 7. Baltimore, Maryland. Baltimore is a city of contradictions. On one hand, it has historic neighborhoods, a strong port, and proximity to Washington, D.C. On the other hand, it's facing one of the steepest declines in population and reputation in America. In the mid-20th century, Baltimore had nearly 1 million residents. Today, it's barely above 560,000. That's a staggering drop, and it continues to fall. So what's driving people out in 2025? 1. Crime. Baltimore has consistently ranked among the most dangerous cities in America, with high violent crime rates that deter families from staying. 2. Schools. The city's public school system struggles with underfunding and low performance. Families who want better education are leaving for the suburbs. 3. Housing. While Baltimore's row houses are iconic, many sit abandoned. Entire blocks are empty shells, symbolizing a city hollowed out by outmigration. Where are Baltimoreans going? Many are fleeing just outside city limits into suburban counties like Howard and Anne Arundel, where schools and safety are better. Others are making bigger moves to states like Virginia and North Carolina, which offer lower costs and more opportunities. Baltimore's harbor once brought the world to its doorstep. Today, its people are sailing away in search of a safer future. Number 6. New Orleans, Louisiana. New Orleans is one of America's most unique cities, culturally rich, full of music, food, and festivals. But beneath the beauty, it faces deep problems that are pushing residents away. In 1960, New Orleans had over 627,000 residents. Today, it hovers around 370,000. The drop was accelerated by Hurricane Katrina in 2005, when hundreds of thousands fled and many never returned. In 2025, New Orleans continues to struggle. Flood risk and climate change, rising sea levels, and storm threats make it difficult for people to commit long-term. Crime. Like Baltimore, violent crime rates are high. Jobs. The economy is heavily dependent on tourism, which doesn't always provide stable or high-paying work. Where are residents going? Many are moving to nearby cities like Baton Rouge, or leaving Louisiana altogether for Texas, particularly Houston, which offers more jobs, lower costs, and proximity to family ties. For retirees, New Orleans is becoming less attractive. Insurance costs are skyrocketing due to storm risks, and healthcare access is limited compared to larger metro areas. New Orleans' culture is timeless, but its population is fading fast. Number 5. Memphis, Tennessee. Memphis is known for its music, barbecue, and historic role in civil rights, but today it's also one of the fastest declining cities in the South. Memphis has a population of about 620,000, but census data shows steady losses in recent years. Families are leaving because of crime, low wages, and poor schools. Here's the shocking part. Tennessee as a state is booming. Cities like Nashville and Knoxville are growing fast with new jobs and incoming residents. But Memphis is the exception, stuck in decline while the rest of Tennessee rises. Cost of living in Memphis is low. The median home price is just over $200,000, but low wages and safety concerns cancel out the affordability. Retirees who might consider Memphis often choose other Tennessee cities where safety and healthcare are better. Where are people going? Many are moving east to Nashville, which has become a magnet for jobs, culture, and investment. Others are leaving Tennessee altogether for Texas and Georgia. Memphis is a city with a legendary past, but unless changes come quickly, its future will be written elsewhere. Number 4. San Francisco, California. Now here's where the list takes a shocking turn. Unlike Buffalo or Cleveland, San Francisco isn't an old Rust Belt city. It's one of the most famous cities in the world. But in 2025, San Francisco is losing residents faster than almost anywhere else. Why? 1. Housing costs. San Francisco has some of the highest housing prices in America. The median home costs $1.2 million, and rent often exceeds $3,000 a month for a small apartment. Even high earners are being priced out. 2. Taxes. California has one of the highest state income taxes in the country. Combined with local costs, it's simply unaffordable for many families. 3. Crime and homelessness. The city has been struggling with visible homelessness, drug use in downtown areas, and safety concerns. 4. Remote work. Tech workers no longer need to live in San Francisco, and many are moving to cheaper cities. Where are San Franciscans going? Texas. Cities like Austin and Dallas are popular. Nevada. Las Vegas and Reno attract Californians with no state income tax and lower housing costs. Arizona. Phoenix has become a top relocation destination. San Francisco still has incredible culture and tech power, but the numbers don't lie. Between 2020 and 2023, the Bay Area lost more than 250,000 residents. The exodus hasn't slowed down. The Golden Gate still shines, but San Francisco's golden era may be behind it. We've looked at Baltimore, New Orleans, Memphis, and San Francisco. These cities show us that decline isn't just in the Rust Belt anymore. It's happening in the South, and even in the heart of California's tech empire. But the biggest shocks are still ahead. The top 3 cities on this list are places you'd never expect to see in decline. One of them is even a global icon. So don't miss what's coming next. Number 3. Los Angeles, California. Yes, you heard that right. Los Angeles, the city of angels, the entertainment capital of the world, is also a city people are leaving in record numbers. In 2022 alone, over 100,000 people left LA County. By 2025, the trend hasn't slowed. The reasons are painfully clear. 1. Cost of living. The median home price in LA is around $900,000, and rents can easily top $3,500 a month for a modest apartment. For middle-class families, that's unsustainable. 2. Taxes. California's high state income tax drives many earners away. 3. Crime and homelessness. Downtown LA and surrounding neighborhoods struggle with homelessness encampments, safety concerns, and quality of life issues. 4. Traffic. Endless congestion makes daily life stressful. So where are Angelenos moving? Las Vegas, Nevada. Just a few hours away, offering lower costs and no state income tax. Texas, especially Austin, Dallas, and Houston, where jobs are plentiful. Arizona. Phoenix is one of the fastest growing cities in America, fueled in part by Californians. The shocking part? LA is still seen worldwide as glamorous, but behind the red carpets, it's collapsing under its own weight. Los Angeles isn't just losing people, it's losing the middle class that once made it thrive. Number 2. Chicago, Illinois. Chicago, the Windy City, is one of America's great icons, but in 2025 it faces a storm of problems that are driving residents away faster than ever before. At its peak in 1950, Chicago had 3.6 million residents. Today, it's down to about 2.6 million and shrinking. In fact, Illinois has been one of the fastest population-losing states in the nation for years. What's driving people out? 1. Crime. Chicago is infamous for its gun violence and gang activity. Families looking for safety are heading for the suburbs or out of state. 2. Taxes. Illinois property taxes are among the highest in the U.S., combined with state income taxes. Many middle-class households feel squeezed. 3. Economy. While Chicago still has jobs, especially in finance and healthcare, the city is struggling to attract new industries compared to booming southern metros. 4. Weather. Harsh winters push retirees to warmer states. Where are Chicagoans going? Indiana and Wisconsin suburbs. Close enough to commute, but offering lower taxes and safer environments. Florida and Texas both are massive draws for retirees and young workers alike. Tennessee, especially Nashville, with no state income tax and strong job growth. Chicago once symbolized the American dream, but in 2025, for many families, it feels more like the American struggle. Number 1. New York City, New York. And here it is. The most shocking of all. New York City, the city that never sleeps, is also the city that people are leaving more than anywhere else in America. Between 2020 and 2023, NYC lost over 500,000 residents. In 2025, the exodus continues. Why? 1. Cost of living. New York is one of the most expensive places in the world. The average rent in Manhattan is over $4,500 a month. Even in outer boroughs, housing is crushingly expensive. 2. Taxes. New York state and city taxes combined make it one of the highest taxed areas in the nation. 3. Crime. While not as bad as in the 70s or 80s, rising crime and public safety concerns are real factors for families. 4. Remote work. Many jobs that used to require living in New York, especially in tech, finance, and media, can now be done from anywhere. Workers are choosing cheaper, sunnier, and safer places. Where are New Yorkers moving? Florida. Miami, Tampa, and Orlando are at the top of the list. New Jersey suburbs. Close enough for commuting, but cheaper. Texas. Dallas, Austin, and Houston are magnets for former New Yorkers. Here's the irony. New York will always be a global icon, but icons don't always guarantee livability. For many, the dream of New York has turned into a nightmare of bills, taxes, and stress. The lights of Times Square still shine, but for hundreds of thousands of New Yorkers, the future shines brighter somewhere else. So there you have it, the top 10 U.S. cities dying in 2025. From Buffalo and Detroit to New York and Los Angeles, the story is the same. People are voting with their feet. And where are they going? States like Florida, Texas, Tennessee, and Arizona are winning the migration battle, gaining new residents, new businesses, and new opportunities. The lesson is clear. Cities rise, cities fall. But the American dream doesn't die. It simply moves.